Hey everybody, and welcome back to Live Between Paychecks Kitchen. I'm Oz, Jack and later still in Lake Jackson. This is coming from my little shitty apartment kitchen. Again, apologies. But this is something that everybody needs this time of year. It's soup weather, it's cold weather, it's whatever, and it's time for soup. So we're going to do a chicken noodle soup because it makes stuff good. I couldn't find the weird square noodles that come in the little can or little bitty square pieces of chicken, so we're going to try this differently. Before we jump into it, be sure to like, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube-y stuff. You know, ring the little bell, get notifications when we do this on Tuesdays and Fridays. And be sure to check a link down the tube to do. It's Christmas time. And if you're watching this later, it's somebody's birthday time, or it's Christmas time next year, or whatever. We have a link to our merch down in the doobly-doo if you want to pick up something that they're fans of the show, or you're fans of mine, or you want them to be fans of mine, or whatever. Links down the thing. We very much appreciate it, and let's just get into it. I need to learn to shut up. Alright, so it looks like a lot, and you can cut out whatever you want, but you're going to need chicken. I'm using chicken breast. Make sure it's nice and thawed and boneless. You can use thighs, but it's a whole nother mess. Any kind of noodles you want. I got these flat egg noodles. You could use like fettuccine, anything you really want, but I think those just look fancy. The rest of this stuff, just to make it fancy, you want to use chicken broth instead of water. Now, you want 8 of those. There's 6 cups, and that thing you want 8 cups, so you're going to need 2 of those. You can also use bouillon and cook the chicken yourself down in water, but I'm not going to do that. So, you need 1 onion, like 3 carrots, which I've never understood putting carrots in a chicken soup, but okay, why not? And then celery. Now, you want like 2 to 3 of these. Be sure to wash them. See this, where this dirt is hidden in here? Wash all your fruit and veg. That's going to be your first thing. And then you're going to want some dill. Fresh dill, you can get these packs at like H-E-B or any of the corner stores for very, very little, like $1 or so. Also, this is Oz from the future. You're going to need some olive oil, and I forgot. And you're going to need it for these vegetables, but it's for the future. Remember, yay, need it. So here's all your stuff. First things first, wash your fruit and veg, especially your carrots if you're eating just regular carrots. That's why I like using the small, like, you know, already skinned and washed ones. And then your onion, be sure to take all these skins and the root and everything off. So now everything's nice and washed. Get you a nice cutting knife. All my good knives are done. So I got my big honking chopper here I got from Big Scott. Thanks to him. Shout out for that guy. This thing makes, you know, short work of these, but it's super heavy. It's going to be an arm workout. So you don't want these too big. So if they're getting too thick, just take your celery, get your celery, and just cut it right down the middle, just one time, and then go back to cutting how you want it, and it'll just have the celery stuff. It's doing math. So once you get all that chopped up, set it to the side. Now it's time to do the carrots. Carrots you want to just do as a round, is what it says. Cut it as a round. You just cut along the thing here, and it makes little round pieces of carrot. Imagine that. So do that for all your stuff. Now be sure to take off the top of the root here and get rid of that. But you're good to go. So just cut all the rest. Now your onion, it's your onion. Cut it how you want, man. But you just need to put it in small pieces. It's up to you. You can cut it top down and then do all the regular stuff like we normally do. But like I said before, when I do my cereal, I like using the big rounds of onion. So I turn it sideways where the onion root is sticking out to the side, and then cutting it halfway through. Flip it over and cut it this way. It's a lot easier on your hand, a lot easier to control. And please be careful with any kind of cutting device, especially big, heavy, super sharp freaking cleaver that I'm using here. If you're using anything like that, please be safe. The finger and blood does not make the food better, or I'm legally obliged to say don't be putting people's fingers in your fuss. So now that you got your vegetables nice and cut, now it's time to cut up your chicken, okay? Again, you can take it and boil it, pull it out, and pull it apart and shred it with a fork or whatever, but since I'm using boneless breast, because it's soup, it's a super cheap part of the recipe, I'm just going to go ahead and cut it and cube it. Just cut it one way, turn it, cut it the other way. And you're done. Now, some people trim off the fat. That is entirely up to you, whether you want the fat in it or not. I enjoy it. I think it gives it a better flavor, so go ahead and cut all that up. Now, get you a decent-sized skillet. Put it on medium high. Crap a lunch. Be careful. I set all my pills and stuff next to this, so it kind of fill back on there. So, again, medium high. Then get your pan lotion from the past to the future. And put 2 to 3 tablespoons of this pan lotion at the bottom of this and let this heat up, okay? It's a lot better than butter, because if you use butter, it'll solidify if you got to freeze it or cool it later. And also get you a pot, and you want to put your 6 and 8 cup things in here. You want 8 cups. This box has 6. If it's not draining, stab it at the top, and it'll pour right out of the bottom. Perfect. People, I guess. But if you want 8, one of these big boxes takes 6. So I used all of this and some that I had left over from my recipe the other day. So 8 cups total. You can use water, and then I think it's a teaspoon of the granules per cup of water to make the broth that way yourself. Once the grease is up and running, go ahead and throw your vegetables in there. Some people don't put in the carrots, you just throw them in later. I just saute everything. You want to saute this until it starts getting soft. I stopped and made sure to pull all my onions apart. Don't do this when it's hot, because that's going to suck. But I just like pulling them apart. It helps with the cooking a little bit, I think. So keep a decent stir on these. Let them keep sauteing down. Again, I think it took right at like 12 minutes. Okay. So once your broth or stock, if you want to call it, starts heating up and getting good where it's just about to boil, go ahead and put your chicken in it, okay? It's like just straight raw. We're going to put it in there for at least 20 minutes. It's going to cook that chicken, right? If anything starts foaming or anything starts coming to the top, you can go ahead and scoop it off. That's up to you. 20 minutes. You scoop off any foamy stuff. I didn't get any. I had a little bit, but once I stirred it and put vegetables in it, you couldn't see it. Again, keep stirring your vegetables. Like, again, it took almost 12 minutes, almost 15. So once they get to where they're nice and soft, just go ahead, turn them off the heat, and take them and set them elsewhere. Again, like I said, if you see this kind of stuff, you're welcome to kind of scoop it out. I think they were talking about bigger stuff in the original recipe, but once you give it a stir, all that goes away, so I just left it in. I think that's mostly just from the fats. After 20 minutes, you got decent chicken in here. It's going to be an excellent smell, just the chicken broth and the chicken itself, but make sure to do your full 20 minutes. I got a good boil because I moved it to my favorite burner. Everybody has a favorite burner. Nobody talks about it. But once it's in there, your meat's nice and white. Go ahead and take your vegetables that you pulled off the heat like 8 minutes ago and put them right in there on top of your chicken, right? This is where everything smells super fragrant. Roommates are going to start running in from the other parts of the thing, or at least your dog's going to come in like, hey man, what are you cooking? Give it a nice stir, get all that kind of stuff in there. Now it's time to add the rest of this mess. Now, your noodles, you're going to do half a pound of noodles. This bag is a full pound, so I'm only going to do half. The recipe called for half a pound of noodles. Like, I'm not sure how you measure that anywhere else, but this just came as a 1 pound bag, so I knew to use half of it. Give it a decent stir, put that stuff in there. You want to let it sit for 15 minutes. Put a timer when you add your noodles, all right, and let it sit with the vegetables and the noodles in it for 15 minutes. Cover it, let it sit and chill. Not chill, I mean let it sit and simmer, let's say cook on a thing. You don't want it full rolling boil, just give it a decent one for 15 minutes. Now this is next to the last step. Look, this is good. This is where you get that dill from earlier, and your secret weapon in the kitchen, scissors, and just cut it down. You can take a knife and a cutting board and cut it up if you like, but scissors, just so much easier, so much faster. Just cut that all in there. Now, if you want to add any other type of seasonings, I've heard like Mrs. Dash or seasoned salt or anything that you want to see. Yeah, put your scissors in there, it cleans it off. Add whatever you want. Because it's me, I'm going to add garlic powder. Because I can. It's my favorite thing ever. I am a clove of garlic because I am what I eat. Give it a nice stir, but this is after your 15 minutes of letting the noodles cook. So put all the seasoning in it, kill the fire, and remove it from heat. Let it sit for 5 minutes or so, and this is ready to go. This is super warm. Put it next to some bread, and it's amazing. Clean off your spatula a little bit, too. Again, replace your lid, let it sit for 5, serve it. This is amazing. And that thing's still hot, so don't touch that. It sneaks up on you. So this is great. This is well under our budget. This makes it was 8 cups worth of soup. So if you have 1 cup per, that's 8 people that you can feed off of this. I think the most expensive thing is the chicken, and I use the chicken breast because I didn't want to deal with bones and shredding and just rifling through broth and stuff to get that stuff out. This is great. You can freeze it. You can set it. If you don't use butter, it won't get the chunks and cool on the top. If you use the oil, it's silky smooth. You can freeze it, use it for, meal prep, meal planning for the rest of the week, or save it until you're sick, apparently, and freezing for a while. But this is great. You should totally try this. And there you have it, folks. The most excellent of homemade chicken noodle soup. It'll cure what ails you. It's full of vitamins and proteins and antioxidants and uncle oxidants and all the little nephew and niece oxidants as well. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Don't take my word for it. But it smells good. It tastes good. It's absolutely amazing. It's good for, I'm going to be eating this for a week. But it's amazing. If you do it differently, you want to see me do it differently, I'm willing to, revisit this one. This is really good. Let us know. Put it down in the comments. That's what the comments are for. Or you can find us on social media. You can put us over there. We're on Facebook, Pinterest, Patreon. We're at all of those at Living Between Paychecks Kitchen. Or you can find us at Instagram at Living Between. We had to short it over there. still, for some reason. We're not verified, whatever. And you can also find me over on TikTok under my name, Oswader. Well, I'm on all of those. But I've been trying to do some little videos and stuff over there, just some small recipes that really wouldn't make a video. And asking and begging for recipes because I can't. I'm going to go eat some soup. I hope that if you're feeling bad and you're making this because you want to feel better, I hope whoever feels better, you, whoever you're making it for, or if you just want to do some awesome soup. I don't know if it's good for your soul, but, I mean, I'd have to track down the guy I sold it 2 years ago to find out if my soul got any better eating the soup. But until next time, I will see y'all later. Y'all be safe.